So pretty much is a basic rundown of how exactly you solo carry games like this. Step number 1, you need to get a lead in lane. You need to get a pick, get a kill, start snowballing somehow, get a CS lead, gain some kind of upper hand on your opponent. Number 2, you need to either kill them or force them out of lane. Enough times where you can kill their tower. And as you saw in that game, you don't necessarily need a jungler to do that. This is harder to do with Vayne. Vayne more solo carries towards the late mid game, whereas characters like Lucian and Jhin carry more in the early game. So when you actually go about doing this is really dependent on what champion you're playing, but at some point in time you need to try to get either first blood tower ideally, or your enemy's tower before they do yours. Once you get that tower, you need to go and try to take some sort of neutral objective, if that would be Dragon, so if you're bot lane. So Dragon needs to be killed. You can do this by putting a pink ward in front of it, trying to clear it out, make another pick, kill the enemy jungler, kill the enemy mid, find some way to pick somebody off to have a window of opportunity for you to go and take this objective so you have an advantage so they wouldn't want to fight you for it. After you take that neutral objective, like Dragon or something like that, you need to go and start taking all the other outer towers. So mid is usually the first one you want to take. Again, try to make some kind of pick opportunity or try to just shove them out with poke. Something like that to get them away from the tower to let you kill it. This should be easy because you've killed the enemy laners. Sorry, your enemy laner a couple of times. You have extra gold from the tower. You have extra power from the dragon. You have an advantage. So you should be able to beat them in a fight. Having done that, if Rift Herald hasn't been taken yet, nobody ever takes Rift Herald, try to get your top laner and your jungler to help you take it and give it to your top laner or jungler. It gives them a lot of power. They don't understand how good it is. Just give it to them. Then you want to try and take the enemy outer top tower. And while doing all of this, you want to push your vision into the enemy jungle. Like, start clearing out their wards in their own jungle. Put your own up. That way you can see them before they can see you kind of thing. That gives you a pretty big advantage. After that, you want to try to start whittling away at the other enemy outer towers in a similar fashion. While doing so, you want to, again, continue to move up your vision line. Put more wards near the enemy raptors, near the enemy blue buff and red buff. Start clearing out their vision. Move your pinks into more aggressive positions. And look for picks. Look for team fights. Use your extra gold that you have to try to just continue to win more. And every time you kill somebody, try to get at least an enemy tower. Whenever Baron spawns, you want to try to establish vision control over the Baron pit. This is usually how you win a game. And you either want to bait the Baron, so like act like you're going to do Baron, get them to show up and then land a pick or start a fight that way, or just straight up get into a fight and then go take Baron. And you can use that Baron buff to go take an enemy inhibitor. Once an enemy inhibitor is down, the game's pretty much over. If you take the top one, you push bot. If you take the bot one, push top. If you take the mid one, then that's not ideal, but you can pick either side lane. And while your super minions are pushing at the enemy nexus, somebody has to leave to go clear them. It's a 4v5. You start a team fight, then you win that team fight, take a second inhibitor, game's over. That's the basic idea behind it, and it's hard to do when you're the only person who is aware of it. This is how you win the game, has the power to do it, blah, blah, blah. But if you are able to consistently win lane, and you say that you can't solo carry your team, this is how you do it. Hey everyone, how's it going? It's Constantine III here. So one of the questions that I get asked most is that, Constantine, how do I solo carry a game as an AD carry? How am I going to be able to take the game into my own hands and carry my teammates? Well, that is an excellent question, and one that I will be answering today. So, just to paint you a picture of what happens in this game, I end up with like 34 kills or something like that by the end of this. And pretty much, Thresh and I are the ones who absolutely carry my team. My Ryze doesn't have any idea what he's doing. I'm going to hide names. I'm not trying to be mean, but, you know, this was on a Smurf account. This was in, like, a low elo, like a low plat game, I think. My Lee Sin had some okay combos. My Gnar had no idea what he was doing. So, I'm going to show you guys how to solo carry a game right now. How to just take it into your own hands. So, step one, you gotta win lane. So, right here, I've just been laning. I have really good CS for this point. I think it's, 6 minutes in and I have 50 CS. That's pretty good. And I am going to do my best to just win the game by first off, getting a lead in lane. So my Thresh gets a beautiful hook right here, and I throw my W way to the right here, thinking he was going to arcane shift into it. I was totally wrong there, but it's fine. He's forced to flash. I jump on him, and I finish him off. So at this point in time, now I've got a lead in lane. And we're going to have to snowball this lead out of control. So the first thing I'm going to do here is that I'm going to push this wave into tower. Now, I'm going to push this wave into tower because that will deny Ezreal experience. So when you push a wave into tower like that after you kill somebody, Ezreal's not going to get any gold for those minions, he's not going to get any experience for those minions, which means that we have a lead. Now, again here, what just happened? Because I have so much gold right now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to say, okay, I am going to go for an early power spiking build, which is Ghostblade, Duskblade on Jhin. On Vayne, you could go Ghostblade, but typically it would be better to just go for your crit build. In any case, any ADC that you play as, if you get an early lead, you want to try to build items that help you continue that lead. And when you're behind, you need to build catch-up items. Ezreal built a tier and got a cloth armor, so he is way behind me on damage right now. So I tell my support that we're just going to go all in again. The minute you see that guy, we know he has no flash, we're going to abuse that fact. So Thresh instantly just flashes onto him. He throws out his E, but it's an easy W to follow up afterward. I just walk up, he gets hooked because, he doesn't have any escapes left, and he's just toasted. So now, Thresh and I, again, look at all these minions that I can get. I am just going to push this lane back into his tower, deny him more creeps, deny him more experience points, and continue to snowball this lead out of control. And so here, what was it? Actually, kind of unfortunate. What was it? Thresh lands a really good hook, but, what was it? Zyra still had flash up, so he's able to flash out of the box. So we're going to start trying to put damage onto this tower. And I potato here because he had Deathfire's touch on him still. I didn't realize that, so that drew tower aggro. So we're just going to back again because we got that one kill. And we're going to continue to try to snowball this lead out of control. So right now, my first objective is I'm trying to take this tower. So I'm going to clear out my minion wave right here. Thresh is going to flay it, and I'm going to throw a grenade on it and all that fun stuff. And so it's just going to let me, have a nice and easy clear right here. Don't miss any minions, which is great. Pink ward, get some vision control going. And we're trying to kill this first tower right here. So we can either do that by killing the enemy, the best way to do that is by killing the enemies again. Because we've killed them twice now, we have such a huge damage advantage on them that we just really want to get into an all-in. I see that Ezreal backs right there, so I go to shove the wave in. Because again, I'm just trying to kill this tower to get that first tower gold bonus. That's the first step to solo carrying the game, is to get that first tower gold bonus. So I get a little auto off right there. And I'm just trying to see if I can set up a kill. Because if the enemies aren't bot lane, that really helps a lot in getting getting the tower. So we see Shyvana coming, and she knows that we see her coming, so she just backs off. So again, I'm sitting here trying to find a way, looking for opening a window, some way that I can go in and kill these guys. We don't exactly find it here, but I do realize that I'm about to get Ghostblade. So what I tell Thresh is that we're going to push this wave in and try to get me enough gold for Ghostblade. And then on that power spike, when I get it, I'll be really, really, really strong compared to Ezreal. When you're ahead like this, you really need to play chess, right? To slow down a little bit, to give you guys a break in, what I'm doing right here, is that my strategy is again, I need to get that first tower down in order to solo carry this. How am I going to get that first tower down? I'm going to need to kill Ezreal or Zyra to create pressure in the bot lane by having them not there, and that allow us to kill the tower. Now, the best way to kill somebody is by having some sort of power advantage on them. The biggest one in laning phase that's for your character is when you get your first major item. So for Vayne, it would be BF Sword, Static Shiv, Tier 2 Boots would be her first big power spike. For Jhin, it's just a Ghostblade. So now that I have this Ghostblade power spike, all Ezreal has is a Sheen and a Tear. That's not nearly as much. Here, I'll move myself over here so we can see it better. That's not nearly as much power as I have. Furthermore, now I have all of my summoner spells up. He does as well, but Zyra has no flash. So what my plan was walking back to lane is that we're going to try to see if we can catch Zyra out of position and then pop her and just totally destroy her because I have so much more damage than her ADC right now because I'm on a power spike. So that's what's going through my head right now, and that's what I'm trying to do. So we get Ezreal to back off, and we're just, again, clearing waves. And unfortunately, because the enemy team had a power lead on, had just a big lead on us, my mid laner is just 1-1. There's Syndra as a CS lead. She's just stronger, and honestly, throughout the game, proves to be a better player. They get the first dragon. But their bot lane made a pretty big mistake, and they chose to back at a really bad time, which means that we got a ton of damage onto this tower. So now what we're trying to do is we're like, okay, they just totally conceded all the pressure bot lane. Let's see if we can try to get a kill here. And Thresh lands a beautiful hook, and because, you know, I actually get totally wrecked here by the Zyra, but because we have so much power on her, I'm just able to win that fight just purely because I have just better items, even though I got exhausted in the whole 9 yards. So we finish off Ezreal over here. Now, because she has no ADC in the jungler's top side, we are able to pick Zyra, kill her, and then take this tower for all this bonus gold. My support should have backed off right here so I could get the full bonus gold, but, you know, that's fine. So this is where a lot of people get screwed up. That's obvious, right? You guys all know this. What everyone doesn't seem to understand is what you do after this point. If there's no objectives left in bot lane, what do? You rotate to mid lane. You push out the wave bot, you force Ezreal to sit here and clear minions, and then you go to the mid lane and you kill that tower. Like a ripple in a pond, right? If you guys have ever thrown a rock into a pond, you'll know that when you hit the center, there's a big splash, but then small ripples go out of it. So that was the big splash right here, was getting 2 kills, 4 kills bot lane and killing the tower. That was the big splash. But the ripples, oh, just like the ping in the minimap right here, the ripples need to go take other things, get wards in the enemy jungle, drift towards the mid lane, take Rift Herald, take the top tower. You're going to see throughout this game that I'm going to basically be, you can't see me typing, but I am literally typing on my team, telling them exactly what to do, and getting my teammates advantages, so in theory, they can babysit themselves while I go do other more important things across the map. So instantly, I'm going to run down bot lane, like I said earlier, and I thinking that I had to push out the wave, but Ezreal is super slow, I realized, so he's not going to actually be pushing it. And now that I'm mid, I'm going to be going and just trying to go and kill this tower. It's already like half health, but if I can put pressure right here... Oh god, that was a great kick by Lee Sin. So we just... Yeah. Dude, that was a good play by him. So by being mid, we were able to cap... If it was just Ryze, he wouldn't be able to kill her there. But because I decided to come mid, we can now take this tower. So they're down a support, we have a numbers advantage, and now we're just going to start unloading on this tower. Or trying to engage into a fight, with whatever means necessary. So Thresh lands a great hook right here, and I'm going to pop my Ghost Blade and just kite back, land a nice little W, and then set up for my ultimate. So I'm just going to start sniping people. So we pick Graves right here, and then, ooh, the juicy final shot as she bleeds out from Deathfire's touch. So, just good skill shot use, capitalizing on my support, making plays. We bot lane right now, besides that one kick on that Lee did on Zyra, which was good, admittedly, but still, we are the big ones who are carrying this game right now. Now, my team makes a pretty big mistake. Right now, we could just keep attacking this tower, but they get all distracted and they decide to chase Ezreal down here. So you can see that I'm pinging and I'm trying to get them to take this mid tower because towers are way more important than kills, but they just kind of randomly decide to go for that for some reason. Sometimes, especially I'm sure as you guys know in low elo, people will just kind of do their own thing and there's really not much you can do about it. But that just happens. So right now I'm thinking to myself, okay, we just got another tower, that's good. I need to go push out bot lane again so my wave doesn't... So Ezreal can't try to kill my bot lane tower. I need to send it back towards his tower because I need to go and try to take the other 2 big objectives on the map. Namely Rift Herald and top tower. So my Gnar is currently losing lane pretty badly. He's 0-2 against this Graves. And Graves is going to prove to be a pretty big problem throughout the entirety of this game. But if I can do something to get Gnar back into the game, is what my thought process is right now, then Graves being this fed is not going to be nearly as big of a deal as people think it is. So I'm going to get this gold. Again, I've pushed out the wave, so Ezreal's down here. He's trying to freeze it, because if he pushes up, he knows that someone will just come and kill him. I'm going to go run over here and try and get my Gnar, the Rift Herald buff. Now, we can do this for a couple of reasons. Like I said earlier, I identified that as the next objective I wanted to do, was the Rift Herald. We can do this because, number one, I bought a pink ward. Buying pink wards as AD is really important. So right now, if we go over to, what color are they? Red? They have no idea if this is happening right now because I used the pink ward to deny them vision. Number two, let's go back to the all vision. Ezreal is bot lane, right? Because I pushed the wave in earlier, somebody had to be down here to stop the minions from crashing into this tower. Otherwise, it would have lost a lot of gold. So I know for a fact, without having any vision on this side of the map over here, except for this ward right here, that it's going to be, at the very worst, a 4v5, because somebody has to be down there. Furthermore, I have 6 kills and I just got my Duskblade, so I am really freaking strong right now. So I am confident that should someone show up here to try and stop us, we can just take this. So I'm going to get Gnar the Rift Herald buff right here. And this is a pretty big deal, because now, even though Gnar is 1-2 against, you know, a 3-kill Graves and down a significant amount of CS, this Rift Herald buff is going to help him at least have more pressure. It's going to give him movement speed, damage. It's going to make him less likely to feed his ass off, right? Now I'm going to rotate back down to the dragon, because it's a fire dragon, I need to take it. Normally, I would have liked to keep pushing top and try to take that tower, but because fire dragon spawned, I had to rotate down here to try and get it. So now I'm just thinking about, okay, we need to win this team fight. We need to kill somebody. So we get a catch right here. I blind land him with the W, and I know that I hit him with the W because I saw the animation, so I'm just going to snipe out Ezreal right here, and I'm going to try to kite back. Now, I totally fucked up, and I don't know if I was drunk or something, but I accidentally just walked right into the enemy team right there. Have to use both my sums to get out. So, because I potatoed right there, we have to back. But regardless, we still won the fight. So, now what my game plan is that, unfortunately, I fucked up, and Ezreal was I couldn't be everywhere at once. It took us too long to get Rift Herald. Ezreal was able to get some really nice damage down on my tower. He didn't take it, luckily, but, you know, the idea of keeping lanes, like, pushed out and having to not worry about them failed me there because I took too long to take Rift Herald. But again, I'm thinking about what the next big objective is for me, and I'm thinking I need to go take Dragon. So I'm going to go down here, I'm going to take Dragon. Awesome. Now I've got Dragon down, my big wave is pushing bot lane, so what am I going to do now? I'm going to go and I'm going to try to take top tower. Like I said, I'm just working on all of the outer towers. I'm just trying to create pressure in all of the lanes. So I go over here, we get a cool catch on Graves. This is a long game, so I'm not going to like highlight every single instance of it and jack myself off about how awesome I am at hitting skill shots. Thresh misses his hook there, so Syndra's able to kill me. Unlucky. And, oh, for heaven's sake, just don't do that rubber band thing. So my team is just being kind of dumb and, like, you know, this is what I'm talking about. Like, they just kind of get randomly caught and are going for really weird plays or whatever, which is the time when you feel like you have to solo carry a game, which certainly happened right here. So now, let's reassess the situation again. There's a huge wave bot lane that somebody should have gone to deal with, namely the guy of Teleport, but for some reason he's pushing mid, I don't know why. And there's one big objective on the map alive right now, Baron, so, okay, naturally we gotta think about that. We gotta take out all these outer towers. Now, the lowest one right now, the one with the closest minions to it, is mid. So, right now, we're thinking about trying to get a catch mid and then see if we can take that tower. So, yeah, Thresh messes that up. And that's okay, because we can't all hit the hooks. So, like I said earlier, bot lane's getting pushed out, so I had to go take out bot. And why did you change? I fucking hate directed camera. It never does what you want it to. So, my team is getting kind of caught over here, and a couple of them get picked. Again, like I said, it feels like a 2v8 with my support and I against these guys. So I see Graves overextends a lot here, and I get a nice kill for free, pretty much. And I think somebody else, like, randomly suicides because Thresh gets stunned, but I'm just trying my best to keep them off of these towers, but follow Jin, you potato of a camera. I'm trying my best to, like, you know, keep them off of this tower, but I just can't. No, that was in a game with Vayne, my bad. I was thinking of the wrong thing. So now, again, I'm thinking to myself, I'm trying to reassess the situation. What's the next big objective I need to take? I need to try to work on these towers and Baron. It's just, this is where it can be really frustrating trying to carry as ADC, because your team keeps doing these ridiculous things by running into the middle of nowhere or trying to solo push or whatever and just constantly getting caught. It can just be really difficult. But if that is the case, you'll see this towards the end of the game. You need to start making catches yourself. There are several times when I just use my ult to just kill someone from across the map, you know what I mean? And if you were playing as Vayne, you would just, like, look for a pick from a brush or something. You have to do something in order to try to make... Oh, yeah, this was just Graves being really special ed right there. You just need to do something in order to try to, like, make windows of opportunity. So, looking at the map, we see that Dragon has spawned, and so we're going to try to do a team fight right here to try to kill this Fire Dragon. So I get back up here, and I set up my nice little sniper nest. And we get a kill right here. This team fight is pretty sloppy, honestly. It's not worth watching. I get a couple of kills, but I get absolutely wrecked. And so we trade 4 for 5 or whatever. I mean, like, the actual team fight mechanics are not important. It's just, what's really noteworthy is watching which objectives they go for when. So now, again, Dragon's the big objective we have to worry about, so I'm going to go and push in for that. We get into a team fight here. We get a pick. I go back here and set up my ult. I love Jhin ult so much. We start making some picks over here. And I believe I do a slick little play right here, and I managed to get a pick. Oh yeah, this was... So he didn't realize... Graves does not realize here that I have rapid-fire cannon, so he tries to bait, but completely underestimates my range, so I just one-shot him. So now, again, my team is like, oh, let's kill Gromp. I'm like, no, we have to kill the dragon now that we have an advantage. And I'm just leading my team. So again, right now, I'm realizing and thinking to myself, okay, we're clearly not able to secure these towers without Baron. So the next thing we have to do is get Baron. So I tell my support, get vision control around Baron. So we can try to do this stupid thing so we can actually clear waves and then group as 5 and try to take a goddamn tower. So I get my red buff, and now I'm like, alright, let's see if, let's get Scuttle Crab, let's clear out wards, and let's try to do this Baron. And what unfortunately happened there was I thought Shyvana was by herself, and she wasn't. Furthermore, the problem was compounded, I guess is the way you want to describe it, by the fact that my Lee Sin decided to randomly back there for no reason. And so I believe we lose mid-tower here. And I try to clear out some waves. Oh yeah, we get a nice little catch on Shyvana right there. Oh yeah, right here. I think, do I kite this out? I should be able to. Yeah. Yeah, I do. Okay. Well played, me. I hit Ezreal with that, but it wasn't enough. So, I go back and I'm telling my team, do Baron. You see my pings. Do Baron, do Baron, do Baron. And they're not feeling it, apparently. I'm, again, creating pressure top lane. And now, I wanted level 16. And they don't want to do Baron now. But we try to go for a pick, right? We get this catch right here on Shyvana. And unfortunately, the enemy team comes back around, but I get an ult up, and I believe I catch Zyra with this? Yeah. No, she flashes it. That was at a different time. So once more, we just can't make any progress right here. But this is what you have to do when you're behind. You just have to keep going for these picks, keep trying to make things happen. And I think it is in this team fight right here where I really make something happen. Yeah, we get a good catch. Thresh gets a good catch on the Syndra. And now I'm telling my team to get over here and do the frickin' Baron. Thresh gets another good catch over here. I'm able to snipe out Ezreal, I'm pretty sure. Yep. We're trying to get an ace right here so we can have a safe and uncontested Baron. Oh man, I completely whiffed that W. That's too bad. What was that Gnar ultimate? Jesus. Alright, get him with the rapid fire over here. I remember this clearly. And then Ryze gets the Syndra. So now I believe that we don't have enough damage to take Baron, but my team, I forget that I have a red elixir, so I'm able to tank it. And we managed to take it. So finally, the objective that I've been telling you guys that we needed to take has finally been secured. Like, and this wouldn't have been possible if I hadn't been so freaking adamant about trying to take this objective. So now the next big one to take is Elder Dragon. That's our next big concern. Now this team fight right here is what won us the game in the very end. And it stretches on for a little while after this, but this play right here is what really does it. So right now there's this big fight going on over here, so I'm trying to get some snipes out on the low health Graves. But unfortunately Shyvana flash ults me, but I'm just able to kite it out. My Thresh puts some good peel down, and I'm able to kill him. So now I need to look for an opportunity to go and pick these low health guys. Ryze, for some reason, just gets hype as fuck and just randomly ults over here, and my team just completely and utterly suicides. So now I'm trying to find some way to, like, salvage the situation. I managed to snipe out Graves with the W. Thresh gets a good hook on Syndra. I'm able to pop her. Ezreal jumps down here, but I'm super fed and just, like, pop his ass. Activate my Mercurial Scimitar for extra move speed. And just blow up Syndra. So now I'm thinking to myself, okay, everybody is dead. How are we going to salvage this? We need to take an inhibitor right now. Not going to clear any jungle creeps. The objective that I need to take right now is this inhibitor tower. So, using Jin's really freaking good ability to just clear waves, I take a 1. I take a 2. I said I take 2. And then I take 3. And now we pop it, which is great. And we can't take Elder Dragon because my team... This is another frustrating thing. So, Elder Dragon is right here. Elder Dragon has spawned. Elder Dragon is alive. Do you see this? That's the wolf camp. This is Elder Dragon. Wolf camp. Elder Dragon. Wolf camp. Elder Dragon. Pop quiz. Which one of these objectives is more valuable? Which one of these objectives should be valued more? It's a really hard one. I'll give you a little bit of time to think about it. If you answered the wolf camp, you are correct. Thank you very... The wolf camp gives you over 100 gold if you clear it, whereas all the Elder Dragon does is give you a game-winning buff. Please don't ever do this. Ever. All 1,036 of my subscribers, please do not ever go clear the wolf camp when Elder Dragon is spawning. This is why you need to pay attention to what objectives are on the map and what you need to pressure, because you don't want to be the guy who's taking the wolf camp when the enemy team is grouping for Elder Dragon. In any case, after talking shit to my teammate, I'm going to go be retarded real quick and get caught. I managed to kill Syndra, but it doesn't matter, I die. Team is not able to take Elder Dragon, though, because their main carry is Syndra, so we basically traded main carries right there. They dick around and don't really actually do anything, blah, blah, blah. Oh, no, I forgot they suicide right there. Or do they? No, they're making play. Oh, no, right, they did suicide, I forgot. Yeah, and so it ends up being a 1-for-1, and then Graves and I go mono-e-mono here, and of course, Constantine triumphs. So now, I don't really have any time to do anything, so what I end up doing is I just take a Nexus Tower and I run away. And now we're trying to group for Elder Dragon. Because again, that is the next big objective we have to take. I forgot how long this stupid-ass game was. And so I tell my team, look, just fucking do it. They don't have a top laner. Their Graves is dead. And I think we're going to get pulled out of here, but he gets stunned. So now I'm trying to stun, do my best in this team fight. I'll show you my snipes over here. And I get some decent damage on the Zyra as well. And you didn't see it, but my Lee Sin missed Smite, and he got Elder Dragon. Not only that, instead of grouping bot lane, Lee Sin decided he was going to run top to take the outer tower. So that is just another terrible, terrible call on his part. And I'm not trying to, be a dick or anything like that. It's just that this is kind of showing that even 1v8, 2v8 like this is right now, you can still solo carry these games. I mean, it's more of a duo carry because Thresh is playing well, but, for all intents and purposes, this is Jhin carrying the shit out of his team. Just by prioritizing objectives and playing team fights well, you can pretty much solo carry anything. But this is to give you hope, right? I know you guys have potatoes on your teams that cause you to lose constantly. These three guys are prime examples of potatoes. So even if they don't group, if they keep randomly getting caught, if they don't group for objectives, you can still make things happen by getting catches and prioritizing objectives correctly. It was me who initiated all the tower kills early on. It was me who got my team the Rift Herald. It was me that got them the 2 dragons. It was me that was able to make a bunch of catches. It was me that's doing all the damage. I end this game with 80,000 damage dealt. You can solo carry if you just prioritize objectives correctly. And again, next objective to go on the map right now, if it's really important, they have an open inhibitor, it's a perfect time to go take Baron. So we're setting it up, and we have ward coverage right now. I make a good catch on Syndra right there, and I'll show that in more detail. So Syndra is trying to throw down balls to pick up and then throw them all out to get a stun. She steps on my trap, though, because she forgets that it's there, and I root her inside of it, and it just absolutely blows her up. So I can't really get close to the team fight right now, so I'm going to drop an ultimate and start sniping. And I'm just going after the first person I hit, which happened to be Zyra, so easy enough to just pick her off like that. She doesn't try to juke or anything. And this is kind of frustrating because right now I'm trying to avoid getting killed by Graves, so my team is over here chasing Shyvana. So I'm trying to regroup, and then Graves sees me, and he's trying to kill me, and, he can't, but still, I'm just trying my best to stay alive and make something happen. And I'm pinging for my team to come back here and either kill Graves or, take an objective or something. And we take Baron, thank God. And now this is where it all can end, because finally we have an inhibitor down, finally we have Baron, and now we're going to try to group, and I tell my team to go for top tower. They don't want to, they're going to go for, what was it, they don't want to, they're going to go for mid, which is, okay, sure, that is an open inhibitor if it's a perfectly fine option. Oh, no, I forgot, I didn't tell them to go top, I apologize. I'm going over here to get into a good spot for sniping. I'll show you guys why. So they don't see me here, and I'm able to, what was it, get a slow onto Zyra. She gets hooked, and yeah, we just toast her like that. So again, just looking to make plays, get into good positions to fight, whatnot. Of course, it wouldn't be solo queue if my Ryze didn't randomly die for some reason right after I get a great catch. So we have to kite back and spend more time waiting for everything to come back together. I love solo queue. I take the red buff in the meantime. We're just trying to get a catch of some sort. Oh, right. I'll show this again. So, Graves got into a scuffle recently, and he's kind of low on health. I see him run with low health into lane, so I run back here and I drop my ult, and I just start picking him with it. Syndra doesn't block, but I get interrupted by Shyvana. I'm able to kite it out because I have a lot of movement speed from Mercurials and a Thresh that knows what he's doing. And we're just able to chase her down eventually. Listen, the only thing this guy seems to know how to do is flash kick. He's very proud of that. That's pretty much all he does. He does it well, but, you know, pretty much everything else, his positioning, smiting, needs a little bit of work. That's all good. So we take the inhibitor, and we're able to 3-inhib them there with the Baron buff. We take this tower right here. And Nar's down over here, finally contributing something to the game and taking an inhibitor. Lee Sin kicks away a target. El Clasico. And oh yeah, and I think they surrender right here or something, or I think we just take the Nexus, right? Yeah, we just take the Nexus. Okay,